Morning. Good, good. Come on, boys. Buck. Buck. But yes, it'd be, you'll use the motor to load it, ride it up a 6-foot ramp. Hey, no. You'll use the loader, or I mean the motor on the motorcycle to load it. And then of course that ramp will be securely connected to the 10 by 14 inch. It's probably going to be 8 inches, but 8 by 14 plate. I'll probably cut it down to size or try to find that size. But I know 10 inches by 14 by 1/4 inch is a pretty common plate size for aluminum. Each plate will be held down by 2 bolts, probably 3/8 inch with a nylon thread locker. Washers. You'll roll that bike up with the motor. You will set up a ramp. You'll also set up a ramp that's, when you walk up that ramp, you'll be standing at about ground level if you were standing on side of the bike. Stop. Stop. Wait. So you just walk up that ramp, start the bike, have the motor on, feather the clutch and the brake, or the clutch and the brake and the throttle. You feather them, and just roll that beast right up. Come on, let's go, buddy. The beauty of this whole fucking thing is you can be riding down Utah 12, for example, and you've got a couple hours to kill because you want to avoid rush hour traffic coming into Vegas. So you can unload the street bike without unloading the dirt bike or the Can-Am Maverick. Oh, also, it appears I would have to move the wheel chock for the dirt bike. I'll have to move, when you move the rig back a foot, you'll also have to move that back a foot. That's just the way, I believe that's the way I'm gonna have to do it. That front wheel chock for the dirt bike is gonna be in the way of the mounting system of the bike. I do believe it is. Brake left. I'm not really certain. What you're going to do is you're going to, get the rig set up on the trailer, make it so that you can move the rig as far back as possible, put extension connectors on the thing that hold the ramp in position, so you can put the ramp at a 45-degree angle. then when the rig is on the trailer, the rear tires will be touching that ramp, essentially. It'll allow you to mount the Can-Am Maverick. I'm gonna say a foot, but I know it's not a foot. It's gonna be more like 10 inches. But you will try to mount it back as far as you can. To counterbalance the tongue weight on the trailer. This is not rocket science, gentlemen. Well, yeah, you'll jackknife the trailer and see exactly, get your tape measure out and see exactly what the distance is from the corner of the Jeep to the corner of the trailer. That type of shit. So you gotta be able to, now you never get close to jackknifing it, but you do sometimes have to do very tight U-turns, and you do not want the Jeep to hit the handlebars on the motorcycle. So you'll have to make sure that you mount the motorcycle back far enough, which incidentally I do believe if you center the motorcycle on top of the rim, hey, watch your head. If you center the motorcycle on the top steel rim of the trailer, it should do it. As a matter of fact, when we get back to the house, I'll show you the front rim of the trailer and stuff. Give you a little dramatization. The length of your street bike is about 80 to 81 inches. That's from the front of the front wheel to the back, outside diameter of the back wheel. So the wheelbase is about 48 inches, I believe. I measured it, wrote it down, marked it on the trailer. You'll be able to fire that beast up, feather the clutch, front brake, and push it right up into that wheel chock that holds the bike in place until you get a chance to tie it down. And I'll have safety lines right there already attached to the rig, so you can tie your bike off there so it can't fall in that direction. And I'll put a safety line to the spare tire so it can't fall in that direction as you're getting ready to tie it down, gentlemen. These safety lines will be right there, so oh, wait a minute. Come on out here. We gotta go take a look at something. I promise these people that show them the trailer. Okay, stop right there. Here's the front rim of the trailer. You'll have a 10 by 14 inch aluminum plate here. Here, and one on the end. You'll probably have to move that wheel chock, possibly, I'm not really sure. But you also may want to, you can see here's the, essentially if you were to center the bike on the trailer, here's where the wheelbase is right here of the rear tire. But you can move the wheelbase back here. And when you do that, in the front too, it should put your handlebars about right here, which is about the center of of the spare tire, which is when you jackknife the trailer or do a sharp U-turn, in other words, it won't hit anywhere, because this distance always remains the same here, you know, from the hitch to the hitch ball. That distance remains the same no matter what how bad you jackknife the trailer. So if you do move the wheelbase back, this is where it is centered. If you do move it back, say 6 inches, you may not have to move that wheel chock back, but I think I still have to do it. I'm not sure. The front tire may impede the mounting of the dirt bike. Either way, if I have to move it back, I have to move it back. I mean, but I do believe that this is where the wheelbase is centered. I do believe I'm going to move that rear tire back. It'll be right here when it's mounted. And of course you will have wheel straps front and back. You probably have a 2x4 block in front and rear of that rear tire, and it will be wing nut on, so it kind of locks the tire in place. And of course then you also have the wheel chock that locks the front tire in place. All of that stuff keeps the bike from moving left or right. You know, it's a beautiful bike, guys. You want to make sure that when you do this, and you can see how low this is. You can see how low this is, how high you have to. You can see me standing here. You know, you'll have a ramp. Right here, about 6 foot long, and you will put a plywood deck right here. You'll bolt it on so that you can stand right here comfortably when you're holding a 400-pound bike. So you'll cut a small 12-inch and put a couple of wing nut bolts holding it on, and then when you do put the ramp there, you'll probably put a block underneath it. It will be securely fastened, and you'll also secure this with a couple of screws for when you mount the bike. That way your walk-up ramp doesn't move or jiggle, and also your ramp that the bike is rolling on does not jiggle either, because it will be securely fastened to this 10-inch by 14-inch long aluminum plate, which will end right here, or in this range. You might end it out here. Let's just say right here, okay? And then of course they got ramps on Amazon, dime a dozen, 6-footers with hangers on them that it lays on here, just like it lays on the bed of your truck. But you'll put a small drill hole and a wing nut and a bolt on both of them so it holds the ramp steady and it doesn't move. Anyways, it's a project for the future. I've always wanted to take the rig, dirt bike, and street bike. And like I said, when you do this mounting system like this, you can be driving anywhere and say, hey, let's take the bike for a ride. So you can leave everything on the trailer, unload your street bike, and go for a couple-hour ride. Take your wheel lock with you. I'll show you what it is. So when you come back to your Jeep Your trailer isn't stolen. There's the wheel lock right here. You'll take that with you and put that wheel lock on when you go for your street bike, 2-hour street bike ride. Anyways, it's a plan in the works. You've seen me do a lot of projects. This is just another one of those projects. Oh, I'll show you one other thing. Come here, boy. We gotta do one more thing. Oh, this way. You can see that the gate is vertical. If you put extensions on here, you'll be able to put that gate at a 45-degree angle. You got to put extensions, bolt extensions on here with a hole for this thing that holds the gate. That way this gate can be at a 45-degree angle, which allows you to back up your rig further. I would say 10 inches. We'll definitely make it so that gate, when I put those extensions on, we'll make it so I have multiple choices. The first choice will definitely be like 45 or 50 degrees. Come here. The second choice may be something like, I don't know, let's see, 45, 50 degrees, maybe 60 degrees, 65 degrees. That way you can move the rig back further if you have to. But when you put those extensions on, you're gonna have more than just one pin location for that gate. You'll be able to gate it vertical, you'll be able to gate it at 45, and you'll be able to gate it maybe at 65. I'm just throwing numbers in my head, guys. The further the angle that you can mount the gate, the further you can drive your rig backwards and load your rig further back on the trailer to counterbalance the tongue weight from the 400-pound street bike that you're mounting, like essentially right on front of the trailer. So I don't see any issues with the counterbalance, but sometimes maybe it still may be too heavy in the front. So if it is, you'll know right away, because when you hitch it up, the back of the Jeep will sink down. So then you may want to use the 65-degree angle slot and then move the rig back even further. So you'll have those choices, because you're not really sure exactly where you need to mount that Can-Am Maverick to counterbalance the weight correctly. But essentially, being able to move it back as far as you can is a very good start. Anyways, it's a pretty long video, but like I said, I'm in no hurry to do that. Keep in mind, when I do these Idaho trips, obviously you want to also take your mountain bikes. So now the problem is, okay, now where do you put your mountain bikes? Well, let me take you on a tour here, gentlemen. There's the rig. What you do is you take those swimming pool noodles. You mount one of those noodles here, one of those noodles here, maybe one in the middle, and you'll throw one of your bikes up on the front of your rig. It'll lay down on the front right there. Say that like this one, for example, you would lift it up and have those noodles in there as a buffer so it doesn't, so it's not metal on metal, shall we say, gentlemen. Okay, but I've got 2 bikes. So where are you going to put the other one? Here's your spare tire carrier. You'll take another couple of spaghetti noodles on this spare tire. Remember, the spaghetti noodles also I use to garage the Jeep. And you'll lay a bike down right there and tie it down. So you'll be able to take your mountain bikes, your rig, your dirt bike, rig 2 mountain bikes. Don't worry, this Jeep is rated to tow 3,500 pounds, but that's because the Jeep with the 6-cylinder engine is rated to tow 3,500 pounds. They never did retesting when you have a 6.2 liter Hemi. I guarantee you this Jeep can tow about 8,000 pounds without even sweating. That maximum load, even with the mountain bikes, dirt bike, street bike, might be, let's go on the outside of 4,500 pounds, if that. The trailer max is, with the trailer, wait. I was going to show you some, oh yeah. And then of course, this bike gets mounted on the front. And we have to mount it from the driver's side because the dirt bike and the spare tire are on the other side. They'll be in your way when you go to mount it. So, but yeah, being able to take a trip and all 3 of your fucking, you know, all of your gear with you, that's fucking nuts. I mean, if you wanted to, you could even take your windsurf board. That goes, the windsurf board goes underneath the Can-Am Maverick. So you have that option if you want to. And let's just say you're out there in La La Land and you see a nice little mountain bike trail. Boom, you climb up on the trailer and just whip your mountain bike off without having to take anything else off. Either the whatever mountain bike you choose to use, your 29er or your fat bike tire. Interesting concept, isn't it, gentlemen? That you'd be going down the street with a $140,000 Jeep, a $40,000 rig, 2 $10,000 mountain bikes, and a $10,000 street bike, all mounted on the same trailer, just rocking and rolling. You wake up in the morning and it's like, what do you want to do today? Dirt bike, mountain bike, Can-Am Maverick, or street bike? Anyways, that's it for this video. That's it for the Mountain Bike Man podcast this morning. This is a project that's going to be in the future. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it. What you're doing is you're just drawing up the plan in your brain, and you really actually need to hook up the trailer, put the Can-Am Maverick on it, see how much farther back you can mount it. You know what I'm saying? You got to do all of that stuff first, and then proceed with the plates, the aluminum plates, bolt them on with the nylon spacer washers so you don't bolt aluminum to metal, etc. You heard the whole story. That's it for this video.